one, or it
beads
can go to
coming in.
both, or it can go to
Is the
those and
normal.
then down to the ventricle.
You'll
help
have to
keep
ask
the
people
channel
who
going.
have. My cousin
Okay.
has one. He's only 34, and they had to put one because the pneumonia messed up his valves, and so once in a while it stops his heart. So they had to do an implant. And you'll see the cardioverters are big squares, and the pacemakers are little ones like this, almost like a flash drive. And then the cardioverters are here because that's electricity. It jump starts your heart for you.
The pacemaker will never start at the AV? Never be just by itself at the AV?
Not hardly, because you always want it to start here at your first entry is here, so you always want to start it here. So usually, I've never heard of a pacemaker starting here. They usually want to start it normal, which is up here.
So it can be by itself at the SA, and then it can be at both, and it can be at all three, right? It just depends on what's wrong. Plus,
But-
Yeah, the type of pacemaker, and we'll talk about those later on too. But that's like a little overview. Now, if you're an older person, remember I was telling you, young people don't have this. You have this, but it's not developed. So if your heart stops beating, the SA node, you have problems here, or you have problems here. In an older person, this is going to take over the bundle of his. Now, when you have the bundle of his take over, you're gonna have it. It's either gonna knock your atrium, make it weird. So it's either gonna do like a little knot, and then it'll do a QRS. And if it does the QRS, it's gonna give it rabbit ears. So if it's doing the right side, this is what we call rabbit ears. Because when you look at an EKG, it does this, and there, so it looks like bunny ears. So this is right, okay, and it looks right, bundle, branch, block,
right.
RBB, okay?
Okay.
That tells us that somewhere it's not starting here, but it's starting here. So there's a block somewhere here, and it's only making it contract on the right side. The right side.
And that only happens in older people, right? Because like
Most of the time, unless you have a young person with Wolff-Parkinson syndrome, then yeah, you're gonna get funky things. Okay, so the left is gonna be like this, and it's gonna be this way. See the rabbit ears go the opposite direction, right? So that's LBB.
So you're still getting an atrium?
So you're still getting an atrium.
But is it,
Because it's sending the shock back up here. So it either starts here, or it's sending the shock back up here, like a
like-
retrograde.
I know, like,
It's shooting it back up.
so it won't.
Or it
before
either
the atrium?
starts here and skips this and starts here and goes down to the bundle, or it just totally skips here and starts here, but high enough to where it makes the atrium contract still.
Oh,
You see what I'm saying? That's the bundle of his.
So you'll see that.
Right. If it's
There's
doing
nothing
this side.
before it, right?
Right. If you see that. Yeah, if it didn't start at the AV node, you may not see this. It may be hooked up to here somewhere. You'll see like a hump here, where it's trying to pump the atrium. If it starts at your AV node, you're gonna see the atrium. It'll be weak, but it'll be there. Almost flat. Okay? But this is pretty normal if you see this. It's not too dangerous. When it gets dangerous is when it's doing at the Purkinje fibers that are taking over, and then you're gonna get all kinds of weird things.
so they could
You're gonna get like a J loop, so you're gonna get an extra beat. So you get, if it's down at the Purkinje fibers, you're gonna get a P, and then we call it a J point, and so it's gonna go down, and then go up, and then go around. And it gets this extra beat here when it's pumping from when the electricity's initiated down here.
What color is it?
So usually the Purkinje fibers, you have an MI.
Okay.
So if you have injury, okay, so the other thing too, when you see a heart attack, if you have an injury, you're gonna go like this, and then you'll have it do this and a little bit elevated. See, it's not at the isoelectric line. This is injury, so this is injury. Then if you have ischemia, which is lack of oxygen, right? It's gonna be a little bit higher. And it'll look like that.
So in the end, they still reach the isoelectric line? Or
And it
no?
usually goes back, yeah.
Okay,
But you're looking at this part here, right?
yes.
Okay? If they have a heart attack, full-blown MI, you're gonna get tombstones. So it's gonna go look like this, almost flat. Like that.
So it went all the way up here?
Yep.
That went all the way up
It
here?
went all the way up here. because it's not going all the way down the muscle. You have
So
infarct,
what does that become?
so it's totally
They're
blocked.
having
So
a
that,
Wait.
full-blown heart attack.
This is an MI, so this is injury, this is ischemia, and then this is infarction. This is a full-blown MI, and it's the widowmaker. It's the LAD that's blocked. So if the LAD is blocked, it's a full-blown MI.
Wait, so what does the S mean up there? Like, in the...
So
why
this
would
is
that be higher?
this
if
is
they're
ST
having-
because it's blocked. So
it
it's not
can't-
letting it go all the way down.
so it doesn't let
So
it
the
Oh,
back.
so it's only
relaxation,
making
so it's
like half the
relaxing,
cycle?
it's relaxing too high. Yeah, it's relaxing too high.
So
It's gonna finish out the cycle, but it's finishing up too high, so the muscle is not contracting all the way.
oh,
When the bottom of the muscle contracts all the way, it's gonna go all the way up and all the way down to isoelectric and then back to your T wave.
Okay.
When it's blocked, when one of the arteries is blocked or the muscle is too thick, it's gonna start making it not contract all the way.
Okay.
So the heart is hardly contracting here, so you gotta save this person like really fast.
Okay.
You've gotta save that muscle, so you gotta give them the oxygen, give them the morphine, and you've gotta start, your meds. And then you gotta get them to the cath lab. As soon as you give Mona, you take them. Morphine, oxygen, nitroglycerin, and then, you send them to the cath lab. So they have to go, or otherwise they're gonna die in the ER.
So because it's not contracting all the way, it's causing it to relax sooner, which causes the T wave,
This
this
to
S
relax.
to
so
be.
it interrupts it.
Oh.
Oh,
okay.
I wasn't making